Good morning, crafters, and a warm welcome to Hunky Dory TV on this terrific Tuesday morning. My name's Dan. I'm going to be your host for the hour. And producing our show today is the lovely Lisa. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning.
Good morning. And at the demonstration station, a lady who knows quite a lot about stamping. It's Amy.
Hopefully. Morning.
Hopefully. Morning. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. You?
Excellent. Very well. Thank you very much.
Excited for the show today.
I'm very excited too. What's been going on? We've got the boys and the kids going back to school today?
Yes, yep, my youngest starts school today.
Oh,
a new school.
New school, so
yeah.
Going into...
Year 9.
Year 9,
yeah.
of course, yeah.
So she's
Which
got,
would be juniors back in our day, I think.
A tie, a blazer that she's not used to, so...
Superb.
And then my daughter starts college tomorrow.
Oh my gosh.
I
Did
know.
you take a photograph?
I did.
You did, it's beautiful, isn't it? That first
Were
photograph.
they smiling?
Kind of.
Forced, maybe. Yeah.
I remember those ones where you've got the first photo and the first day of school and the last photo like right at the end, and the change in
it just makes me feel old.
It's crazy. Ellery has started, he's 16, he's started sixth form today, so he's gone, it's go in your own clothes day today, and then he wears a suit from tomorrow, which is quite smart. But,
that's nice, isn't
so he's
it?
got his big baggy jeans on and all this sort of stuff.
Trainers,
the whole works, yeah. Anyway, good luck to them all. If you've got children starting or grandchildren starting school today, good luck. And we are looking at the School of Craft.
We are.
A nice little segue there. So what is the School of Craft? I shall tell you what it is. It is a week of magic masterclasses, divine demonstrations, and we are going back to basics. We've got competitions, we've got fun, we've got games, and we've got giveaways. There's a lot going on. But first, I think we should start with our Win It Weekly. This week's Win It Weekly is a little bit difficult for me to show you because...
I just put it on the table.
Did you put it on the table?
Yeah.
Is that what you did? So it is this. I've heard a rumour that there is a fantastic how to put it together video with a very handsome man in it.
Oh, we haven't seen it.
It's our fantastic 3-tier stories trolley. Everybody, if you would like to be in with a chance of winning one of these, we're going to give 3 of these away on Friday. We want the answer to this question, please. Which of the following school rules is true? Is it A, you are not allowed to eat ketchup during school hours? I don't eat ketchup anyway. Did you know that?
Don't you?
No. Do you like ketchup?
I do like it, but then we had a conversation at Hobby Maker on Sunday, and somebody said they have it on pasta.
Oh, I
then
understand.
it's just tomato
pasta.
sauce, isn't
yeah,
it?
I don't. Yeah,
I don't know,
possibly. A, you're not allowed to eat ketchup during school hours. B, cannot play football on a Wednesday. I reckon all of these might be true in some places, you know, because my little Max, they had days when they were allowed to play, days when the boys were allowed to play, days when the girls were allowed to play. The boys and girls weren't allowed to play football together. I don't know why.
Are you allowed to do that?
I don't know. And number C, allowed to cheat 1 test per year.
I mean, it'd be good if that one was true,
That would
wouldn't
be
it?
amazing. Which of the following school rules is true? One of those allegedly is true. We'd love to know which you think it is. I've got no idea what the answer to that is. Okay, so pop your answers either on Facebook, on YouTube, in the comments, or you can pop them on the Hunky Dory Hub. Any way you like, you pop them. At the end of the week, Friday, we're going to have a look, see who's got it right, because it is one of the key things. You do actually have to get it right. And then Lisa or Jess, whoever's doing that show on Friday, is going to choose 3 people, and we're going to send them out to you. Free of charge, as a lovely present for you, and they get shipped to you free of charge as well. And we'll send them on Friday, so you could be making your fantastic trolley, because you don't have to make it yourself, either on Saturday or on Monday. Very good. Okay, so what are we doing today? Today is all about stamping. It's for the love of learning, is what it said on the on the what's it called? EPQ, is it? The name of the show is for the love of stamping, for the love of learning. So I thought we might do a little bit of learning, which is why I've put my history teacher jacket on. Suit on. So are you ready? Would you like to do a little bit of learning? I hope so. Today's seminar, is what it says at the top, is all about the history of stamping. So let's learn a little bit about stamping. Where did stamping start? Wax seals, believe it or not, is where stamping started, right back at the beginning. Seals were one of the very first forms of stamping mentioned in the Bible, but they go back thousands of years BC in Mesopotamia, probably carved from stone or bone and then pressed into clay, and then likely to be for decorative purposes. But what do we know wax seals for today? Can you think? What do wax seals get used for?
Sealing envelopes?
Sealing envelopes, absolutely. So they were very important for sealing official documents. So not only could you prove who'd written something, because it had their seal on it, but also that it hadn't been tampered with, it hadn't been opened until you broke the seal. So that's where that came from. Some of the most important seals, and I think, have we got a picture of a seal? Just in case people don't know which kind of seals we're talking about. They're not the flappy seals in the water, they're these seals that we're talking about. Some of the most important ones were actually items that were worn as signet rings, where the ring would be pressed into wax and the pattern engraved in the ring proved the authenticity. Think kings, of course, and the most popular one, the most famous one of those is the Pope's, which is called the Ring of the Fisherman. I think we've got a picture of that there. There you go. So there's a new one of those used to be made. Oh yeah, the Pope wears that. A new one of those used to be made each and every time that a Pope died, which is interesting. Today, wax seals are mostly used for decorative purposes such as weddings. So my wife Deborah is making her wedding invitations for her lovely friend Heather. She's using Stardream Lapis Lazuli, which a card, Stardream Lapis Lazuli, a beautiful blue, which is very nice. But they're going to seal the envelope with a wax seal, which I think is very nice. Okay, so can you guess what two things brought about the end of the use of seals?
Well, I would probably say lack of wax.
Lack of wax is a very good one, possibly. There may have been a lack of wax, but the two key things are literacy. People learned how to read and write. People learn how to write, therefore learn how to sign their name. So signatures, if that makes sense, because that's what it forms authenticity. And gummed envelopes. They provided security that something's not been tampered with. So that was kind of the end of seals, right? But the next stage in stamping, and something that we might recognise as stamping really, was the use of wooden blocks and ink in a process called woodblock inking. And I've got some examples here. You might have seen this sort of thing. So this here was an African one, I believe. Our friend Kim in our design team brought this in. But wooden blocks that have been expertly engraved. And when I say expertly engraved, I mean, look at the engraving on that. That's amazing,
I just love these when they use them on fabric as well, isn't it? A lot of time the wooden blocks are to use on fabric.
And you can use that on fabric with paint or ink, if you will. And obviously you can repeat it to whatever kind of design that you want. It's completely up to you. Now, that was massive as far back as China in 220 AD. I think we've got a picture there. An example of some Chinese text. There we go. I don't know what it says, so I'm sorry if it says anything rude. I hope not. But the process was used for creating illustrations for early books until the mid-16th century. Another popular use for woodblock inking was the creation of playing cards. Are you listening at the back? Make sure that everyone's still listening. Here we go. Thanks for Kim and her Indian woodblocks. The big change, though, came in stamping. Does anybody know, or can anyone guess what the big change was? So everything to this point was hard.
Oh, okay.
So something came that was soft. Any ideas? Any ideas at home? It was rubber. So it was basically the invention of rubber. Now, rubber appeared, it comes from trees in places such as Brazil and India and so on, but it was discovered, I say discovered, by a French explorer in 1736. But of course, the Mayans and the Aztecs had known about it for centuries, so really discovered is a little bit, do you know what I mean? Rubber as we know it is vulcanized rubber, and it was created by accident. I found this really interesting. When a certain Charles Goodyear, a man called Charles Goodyear, accidentally dropped some rubber on a hot stove, and it effectively cooked, turning it into a more solid substance. And that meant that he created tyres and the rubber stamps at the same time, because Goodyear tyres.
Oh, wow.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Much more useful rubber because it was durable and it could be carved easily with a knife or any other sharp implement to create an image. And there are a number of people who believe they were the inventor of the rubber stamp, but that's lost to history. And it is now time to bring us a little bit more up to date. There's much more to add in the history of stamping. So I found that really interesting, the history of stamping. I've been looking at it over the last 24 hours or so. There's lots of sources on the internet if you find that interesting, particularly scrapbook.com, who have an article called The History of Stamping that gave me a lot of the information that I gave you there. Okay, but so scrapbook.com, really, really interesting. Stuff I know a little bit more about personally. Stamping as a means of crafting became popular in the 1990s when companies began to design and sell their own stamps, rubber stamps. But rubber stamps started off as wooden blocks. So let's take a little look at this. So if you can imagine a wooden block with an engraved rubber pattern there and a little bit of foam there. And that meant that when you pressed it, it sort of squidged in a little bit and it wasn't as hard. And that meant that the coverage was better that you would get from your ink. Okay, so we started off with wooden stamps like this. And we started off as a business. We're gonna go a little bit back into history here, back into our own history here. This is something that I pulled out of one of my mum's cupboards, actually. So here we go. This is the first ever Cardcraft Plus, as we were known, Cardcraft Plus, Hunky Dory, if you will, catalogue that we designed in Microsoft Word.
Oh, wow.
This is 20-something years old, 25 years old, I think it is, something like that. And we did it in my mum and dad's dining room, and I did this. There's loads of amazing, really old products, paper brick and that sort of stuff. But you see these little guys on the front, these cute little guys here. Well, they are inside just there. And these were the stamps that were for sale. And if you look at that stamp, you look at the size of it, I mean, it's quite small. So if you look at my hand next to it, yeah, how much was it? £9, £8.95. They were quite expensive.
Well, but I think with the wood as well, isn't it? That, you know, that they will be more expensive.
They will be more expensive because of the wood, yeah.
But then you think how long ago, how many years ago was that?
That was 25 years ago. So £8.95, 25 years ago. What would that be now? That would be 20 quid.
At least,
it would, at least, wouldn't it? Something like that. That was one of the best-selling stamps. It was really, really cute, actually. And then, so innovation happened, obviously. This sort of thing started happening. So can you see that this, instead of it being a straight stamp, where's my other one? There it is. The straight sides, they started doing things like this, where the sides were a little bit, what's it called? Inverted a touch, which meant that you could hold it, finger holds, making it easy. So nice bit of innovation going on there. I tell you what, I saw, this is me going back. So back in the day, we're talking 15 years ago, something like that. I went to Sarah and Simon's, Crafters Companion. They came and visited us. We went and visited them just to sort of see each other's businesses, see what was going on, what they were doing, how they were doing their stamping. They wanted to see how we were doing our manufacturing, that sort of stuff. And I saw rubber stamps being made. And it was fascinating. Have you ever seen it?
No.
Okay, it's absolutely fascinating. So the way that they used to make these rubber stamps, they would get something like, so they had sheets of rubber, big sheets of rubber, and they would cut sheets of rubber to size, yeah? And then they would have, this is actually one of our foiling dies, which we use for our machines. And one day I will tell you, I promise you, I have said I will show you how these things work, because they're absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
You've not seen it
No.
yet. I will take you up and I will show you, don't worry. But they used to get one of these, so you can imagine, you can see that the pattern is raised, if you will. The sheet of rubber would go on top of it, and then they would clamp it. It would be clamped together so that the rubber was squeezed into the design, and then they would bake it in an oven. They had a set of ovens that went all the way down, and these ovens were like something from the 1920s, I don't know, right? And the smell, because you can imagine burning rubber.
Yeah.
So they would cook it for like 9-10 minutes, I think it was. It was like a really specific time, and after that it would be burnt, and before that it wouldn't have taken the image on. And because of the pressure and the heat, it would have squeezed that design into that rubber stamp.
Oh, wow.
And then those rubber stamps, they used to sell something called stick and spray, I think.
Yes,
I think it was. And you would spray the back of them and then stick it onto something. Yeah, so that's how rubber stamps were made. You couldn't make very many at a time. It was very smelly. It wasn't particularly environmentally friendly from what I remember anyway. The poor girl who was there, she was about 6 stone wet through because she'd sweated all, you know, it was bad. But anyway, she was a lovely lady. Okay, so this innovation happened. And the next thing that happened is these babies, which you see today, which is our sort of rubber stamps, clear stamps. And I've got some stuff written down about clear stamps so I can make sure that I've not missed anything. Let me have a look. So what were the drawbacks of wooden stamps?
Yeah.
Storage.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. So they were big, they were heavy. If they're heavy, then it costs a lot to ship them. So when they're being shipped, lots are made in America, lots are made in China. So when they get shipped, it costs a lot of money. So yeah, storage and size, weight.
Cost,
cost to produce them and so on. Also, one of the key things, when you're stamping that, you can't actually see exactly where you're
pointing it, yeah.
So some of the techniques that get used today and get used a lot, which is the sort of tiling of stamps and getting things to go along like a beautiful borders and things like that, were really difficult with these. but became so much easier with these, with the clear stamps. They were lighter, they were cheaper. Let's have another look. So they were lighter, they were cheaper, they were faster to make. You could get more intricate lines with these as well, easier to store, obviously. And you could see them if you mounted them onto acrylic blocks. Now, there are different qualities of this is called photopolymer. So the original ones were polymer, and if you've got some at home, you might remember they used to go quite yellow.
Yes.
So they would go yellow and they
stained,
go quite
yeah.
brittle and not very nice anymore. And then photopolymer came about, and that is we have this they're made in the UK actually, but they reclaim 99% of the resin that isn't used and so on. It's a really much more environmentally friendly. It's a faster technique. It's all done with UV light actually, and the thing that you get on the front, which is like a bit of what's the word? It's not tracing. What's it called? Like acetate with a image, like you used to have on the projectors, overhead projectors.
Oh, yes.
Do you know that's
yeah.
they're used to actually within the process of making it, of developing it. But it's fascinating. But I can, I'll find out about that at some point and give you a bit more detail if you like. Last thing I'm going to show you is something. This is in my history of stamping. This is something quite personal to me, which is quite cute. So this is our catalogue from 2004, I think. And my father, who started our business, passed away in 2005, right? But 2004, the last thing he ever crafted was one of these. My mum came and brought it into my office because she knew that we were looking at this sort of thing today. So I thought I'd just show you.
Oh, wow.
Even 50-odd-year-old men can craft. That's a little medallion made by my dad, which I think is quite cute.
That is gorgeous.
And that is the end of my little history of stamping.
I'd love to know the viewers though, how many stamps you've got, like how
Great
far
question.
do your stamps date back? When did you start your stamping?
When did you get your first stamp? That would be a really, really interesting.
Who's
When did you
got
get
the
your first
wooden
stamp?
ones? Yeah.
Yeah, and the ones before the wooden ones, and who has these ones and so on and so forth. I'm sure, yeah, so, some of them will be going too far back, but yeah, let us know. Put it in the comments. Very, very interesting. I did a lot of research for today's show. Just found it so interesting about stamping, how it came about, and so on.
I
Brings
think
a
it's
lot
nice
of joy
to see
to a
how
lot of
far
people.
we've come as well, isn't
Yes.
it? And sort of all the innovation and all the
For sure.
changes that have happened, and all for the better, like you say. Now they're clear, you can see where you're stamping them, and as
100%.
time progresses. What
And
next?
I love the well. What next exactly? I mean, I love the stamping press and how easy it makes stamping. Stamping
it's just a
is
game
fantastic,
changer, isn't it? Yeah.
Absolute game changer. Okay, shall we do what we're really here for, and look at some fantastic products, because then we can see some great demonstrations and learn some techniques from Amy, who is the one who really knows how to stamp. It's all well and good learning a bit about stamping, but learning how to stamp, that's the thing we want to do. So let me move all these out of the way, all my old catalogues. Fabulous stuff everywhere. Right, okay, so first thing I should say about our week, our School of Craft. Yesterday we looked at cardstock, and we had the fantastic new designer cardstock, which is beautiful.
Yeah, designer card packs, yeah.
But today's stamping, we've got all the way through the week. But for the whole of this week, up until Sunday, I do believe, we have a fantastic offer. And it is, because it's the School of Crafting, there's a lot of pens get used at school.
New stationery for the new term.
New stationery for the new term. Well, I had one of these for ages and ages that people had seen on the show, and they'd be like, oh, that's a hunky-dory pen, I've seen it. But like mine was the only one, if that made sense. So we have got these and made them available for people to buy for £3.99. It's a beautiful metallic ballpoint pen, and it writes absolutely gorgeously. Engraved there, and with a fantastic hunky-dory logo that you know and love on there as well. What I love about this is we're giving it away free. So any order for £25 or more this week, no matter what you buy, you are going to get one of these.
Excluding postage.
Excluding postage. So spend £25 before postage, and you will get one of these fantastic pens. I'd say thrown in, but we don't want to throw them because they're rather nice and you want to keep them in good nick. But £25, you'll get one of these for free, a fantastic hunky-dory pen for you to do all your writing and all your schoolwork, craft work. You can, of course, buy them for £3.99. Right, shall we get on to some product? All offers end Sunday the 8th of September at midnight. We are first looking at the Essentials Ultimate Collection at an incredible deal, a phenomenal deal. Is this the Essentials Ultimate Collection, Lisa?
It is.
Yes, we are winning. Okay, so let's have a look at what's in this. We've got 7 A6 stamp sets, and this is key. We've got the guide to stamping. The guide to stamping doesn't tell you about the history of stamping. No. You need to go back and listen to my amazing conversation earlier on. But this shows you all the basics of stamping, how to get the best out of your rubber stamps, and has fantastic demonstrations, projects in there that you can either copy or amend and change as you see fit, completely up to you. It uses, it's worth £10 this, it uses lots of these stamps. The Essentials Ultimate Collection, what do we have? We have the beautiful butterflies here. We've got the jugs, what they call pretty vases. Jugs. Jugs. Look at them lovely. Okay, we'll move on. We've got congratulations. I can't read it from here. Honestly, my eyes are going.
Congratulations and celebrations.
Thank you. Cheers to congratulations and celebrations. Cheers to you. Got the happy birthday down here on the bunting, which is beautiful. Can you see how much you get on this? You remember that other stamp that was probably about the size of the top bit there, that was £8.95?
Yeah, can you imagine if each of those had to come on a wooden block
on
as
a
well?
wooden block. If you can
how
imagine
much space
that,
it would take up.
And that stamp that we said would now be well over 20 quid. Well, this, you're getting all 7 of these and the A6 stamp set. RRP 80 quid. £39.99,
half price, isn't it?
And that is just for this week, everybody. You've got the hot air balloon there, so many. You are amazing. Lovely sentiments in there as well. The rainbow, which is beautiful. Get well soon, sending smiles. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And of course, a full alphabet with the numbers and the ordinals for you to be able to personalise things for people's names, dates, and so on and so forth. I think there might be one more. Is that 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, there's one more. Yes. It's the one I showed you earlier. Those lovely floral blooms, fabulous florals, gorgeous. That's in there as well. So everybody, you can grab that for this week and this week only at £39.99 instead of £79.92. Couple of other things to show you, and then we're going to go for a first demo. Fabulous florals, beautiful butterflies. No, that's it. Nothing else to show you. You can buy them individually if you want at £8 each, everybody. No, £9.99 each, everyone. They are on a 3 for 2. The Hunky Dory Guide to Stamping is currently available at £4.99 instead of £9.99 as well. So if you want that book, you can get that at half price at the minute. That's enough of me. Let's go to Amy.
Okay, so I think what we're going to do today, it's all about techniques, isn't it? So rather than having sort of finished cards off, we're going to go through the guide to stamping and just show some of the techniques and how you can do it in there. I thought we'll start off with the stamping press, okay, because I think it's really important that if you've been crafting a long time, that you assume everyone has the same experience, and I think sometimes it's nice to go back to basics, or if you haven't done it for a while, and just sort of revisit those, the older ideas as well.
I think with stamping, for some reason, there seems to be a little bit, it makes you a little bit scared.
Me?
Does that make sense? Not you.
No, it does.
Do you know what I mean? There's like a fear, isn't there?
Yeah, and I said this the other week. I think I've got so many stamps at home, but because I couldn't ever they didn't stamp perfectly, I just ignored them. But I think the stamping press has just been an absolute game changer.
I talked to Stacey about this yesterday, and she said that, Stacey, just come back to a sec, please. Stacey said, and Stacey would have been brilliant for presenting the show instead of me, obviously. Stacey said that the quality of stamp really matters.
Yeah.
So these stamps from Photocentric and from that we have made here in the UK they're just great quality. They're thicker, they're deeper, and when you press them, they have the right amount of give, which means that you get this full coverage.
Yeah.
She said the ones that you've got to be careful about are ones that kind of you get sort of free on a magazine cover. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you're never going to get a perfect impression with those, and I think that puts you off. You assume it's you,
and that's the sad thing, because
the quality of the product.
Yeah, a really experienced stamper wouldn't be able to get a great image with some of the low quality or the really cheap stamps.
Yeah, and then it puts you off, doesn't it? And you just
puts you off. Yeah. If you start with high quality stuff, and ours is the best quality, and I can stand here and say it's the best quality that there is for stamping clear stamps, full stop.
Yeah.
There is no competition really. If you start with the high quality, then you end up with high quality.
Because how far we've come with technology and progress in changes, they're good like value for money now as well, aren't they? So
sure.
you can buy a few stamps and just try it out. But the stamping press, I think there's room for your stamping press and your acrylic block. People sometimes have a preference, but if I've got a larger stamp, so last week we had some stamps on and they were almost the whole size of that, just one stamp.
Okay.
So if I had a stamp that size, I would definitely be using the stamping press to do that. If, for example, I was just putting this one into a background, I possibly would use the acrylic block.
Because you can move it around and
And
manipulate
because
it with
it's
your hands
only a
quite
tiny
easily
one,
and, yeah.
you know you're going to be able to get that impression on there. So with the stamping press, the other thing I do, just show you. So again, it's just throwing out ideas, isn't it? Always make sure that you use your magnets to hold the paper down, because if you do need to go and do a second impression, that will help.
Keep it in the same place.
So if you're using a stamp that you've used before and you're slightly worried that it might have a bit of ink left on it, but you want to sort of place it on your paper to see where you're going to stamp it, just get a piece of acetate, and if you put that over the top, then you're going to be able to show you, place your stamp where you want it, attach it, and then you can just remove the acetate and you know you're going to get that impression straight away. So sometimes I'm not very good at cleaning my stamps.
Okay,
so
you've not cleaned it perfectly, yeah.
So you might have a bit on there. So if you sort of trying out where you want to put it, you don't want to mark your paper, so just get a bit of acetate, put it on, and then that will make sure you keep your paper clean as well.
Really clever.
So, like I say, this is what this show's all about, I think.
For sure.
Just trying to give some techniques.
So stamping
ideas.
presses, there's different types of stamping presses on the market. Now ours is quite interesting. It's quite unique really, because ours uses magnets in each corner. Now the logic of that, often a lot of these stamping presses,
they've got a hinge here, haven't they?
Right? Yeah. And when they've got a hinge, it comes across, and when you press it down, if you can imagine.
Well, if you're pressing it like that, your hinge is here. You're going to get more pressure on that side first. Whereas with this one, because it's got the magnets, you know you're going to press it straight down, and it's going to do
even pressure. Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. I think it's such a good design. I'm really pleased with this one.
Yeah. So we'll just do some trials. So what we can do is stamp it. I've done this purposely, by the way. So as you can see, it's only stamped there because I purposely only put pressure on that part. So you want the rest of this done. If you put it onto acrylic block, there's no way you could sort of try and line it back up to get the rest of the impression. So that is why
even being able to see through it, it still wouldn't be right.
You still can't get it perfect. The other thing I'd say, you know that you've inked all of that up, and the ink's only on there, so you know there's going to be some ink left on your stamp.
Yes.
So you don't need to re-ink it at this point.
Because if you do, the bit that's already inked will get more double ink. Okay, that makes sense.
And then you're in another cycle then. So if you know you've inked all of your stamp evenly, but it's stamped like that on the paper, you know then you can just put it back and then just stamp the rest of it. And then you can just keep going back, so you can see those bits there. So just press more in that area and you can see you've got the perfect impression.
Excellent.
Okay, so that's all you need to do with the stamping press. Okay, if anyone's got any questions as well about it.
Yeah, any questions? I'll have a look at. So I'm currently on the Facebook feed, I think, although I've just jumped off to something else. There we go, I'm back.
Yeah, the other thing I would say about your acrylic block is when you're putting your stamps on, I never put them on like this, because if you're sticking them down, you can see there how out of shape that stamp has become trying to put it onto the block. So if I'm putting the stamp onto the block, I might put it on like that, and then that's not the shape that you want. What I tend to do is sort of take it out and just let it fall onto your worktop, and then press it from there, and then you know the shape.
It's the shape
it's meant to be,
that
basically.
It's meant to be, rather than something you've created.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
But, and this is one of the clever things about clear stamps, photopolymer stamps, is that if you want to, you can change them. So you can make a straight border.
Yep.
You can actually wiggle it a little bit if you like. So you can do it with sentiments, so that they follow a certain line or turn into a semicircle or something like that. So you can do it because you want to do it.
Yep.
But that's when you want to do it. If you don't want to do it,
it's best to do it like this. So another thing that you can do with them, and something that we do here, is masking sheets. So if you want to create a sort of a scene or an image with more than one stamp on it without it being layered up, so what you can do is stamp each stamp, cut them out and sort of fussy cut them and lay them up. But if you just want a one layer card, then this masking sheet is going to be perfect. So all you need to do, because I think sometimes, especially now with postage, you don't want lots of sort of layers on your card.
No, it's
but
strange,
if you want
isn't
the
it?
effect of it without the layers, then this is going to be perfect to do.
Lisa, can you just bring up the stamping press on screen for us, if that's okay? Somebody's asked how much the stamping press is, and I would love to be able to tell them. No worries.
So what we're going to do, we're going to build up an image with our vase and the flowers. But what I don't want is the vase to be here and then the flowers to be here. Okay. I want it to look like the flower is sitting in the vase.
Okay.
If I was to stamp this first, we're going to get this line here. Then if I was to stamp the flower on the top, you'd still be able to see that line.
Yes.
So what you need to decide is which image or which stamp you want at the forefront of your picture to start with. So we're going to have this one at the forefront. So
what's your top layer?
Yes, yeah, so what do you want to see sort of at the forefront? So we're going to stamp this onto our card. And again, like we often say, like, it's just having a play, isn't it? Like, it's card, it's some ink, you know, just
I think this
have
is
a go and see.
Some of the fear that people have with stamping. I know people have it with parchment as well, but is the fear of doing something wrong or that isn't very good, but everything takes practice. And the joy about we've got some our Ink Me cardstock. And I'm pretty sure there's some incredible deals coming. In fact, I've just seen there are some incredible deals coming up later on in the show on essential card blocks. But that will bring the price down of those card blocks to a ridiculously low price, which means that the card is cheap. The stamps are reusable, so just play.
Yeah.
Just try things, and the more you try, the more you play, the more you'll find something that works for you.
And definitely with the stamping press, you know you're going to get.
There's your stamping press, 3149, perfect for easy and precise stamping in the same place, as you can see, demonstrated by our lovely Amy.
So we've put the flower there, so that's going to be at the forefront. So now we want to sit it into the vase, but I don't want it to go over. So if you stamp the same image just onto your masking sheet and then just cut it out, it's almost like you know the sticky part of a post-it note.
Okay, yes.
Where you
so it's a low tack adhesive.
Yeah, so it's not going to spoil or stick too much that it's going to ruin your image. So then all you need to do, my head going to get in, is fussy cut around it as close as you can to the line, and then just stick it down onto your image. And then we're going to stamp the vase. Right,
so this is a mask. So you've created because you're going to mask off a section of the design. Okay, that's brilliant.
So again, because I'd used this stamp before, I'm just going to put my acetate on there so I know I'm not going to get any marks.
Now this masking, so we say that stamps are tools that you're going to use again and again and again. Cardstock is consumable, that once it's used. But these masks that you create here, they become tools because they become something that you keep with your stamp.
Yeah, and you can reuse them. So what I would do when you're finished with it is attach it to the front of the acetate piece here.
Absolutely.
So you've got them with your stamp. So you might even, when you get your stamp set, maybe just sit one day and just cut all the masks so you've got them ready.
Of course.
But you can reuse them.
Lisa, I think you need to jump ahead in the show and just, there, she's done it. Okay, so of course we have a phenomenal deal on A4 masking sheets because Amy has chosen to use masking sheets. with this technique. Look at the price, guys. You're saving £2. £2 doesn't sound like too much, does it? But when it originally cost only £4.99, that's quite a chunk of it. It's 40% off. So £2.99 on your A4 masking sheet. Sorry, you get 3 of them in there as well. So so there's plenty of masking that you can be doing. Again, as we say, just create each mask once and then save it.
Yeah, and you can layer the masks up. So now I want to do some flowers around here, so I need to cover up the vase as well. So I'm just going to place that mask over the flower one that we've got, and then we can add more onto it as well.
So you're going the other way.
So we've got the mask on the flower and the vase. So
so it's double, right? Okay, it's on both now.
So then we're going to add.
Right, okay, because then these will look like they're behind that original big flower. And that's how you get your dimension.
So
honestly, it's just some of the things that obviously make things so much more simple, like Amy did there, where she popped the stamp onto exactly where she wanted it on the image. Whereas I'd have been sticking it on the back of the stamping press and then trying it, it doesn't fit, and then moving it, and then trying it and moving it.
So you could see there as well how easily that is to peel off. And then, like I say, all I would do is just attach them with your stamp onto there, and then you're going to be able to store them perfectly as well. And then if we remove that one, we don't need to finish the whole picture, but you can see how you've got the flower overhanging the vase, but you've still got just one layer of cardstock.
Absolutely.
So again, I've seen one where it's teacups and they're piled up. So again, you could mask with that as well. But just so many options to do with those masking sheets. So the other one you can do is, I love this one. So this time we're using the thoughts and wishes, and we're taking the plaster from here.
So everybody, there are so many different things talked about in this guide to stamping book that I'm just having a little flick through now. It explains all about colouring mediums. It talks to you about your different stamping tools, your brayer, your masking sheets, how to use them, anti-static bags and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, if you're unsure which type of ink pad you need to use, depending on your colouring medium. So there's different ones if you're doing watercolour or your alcohol markers.
All that's in there as well.
So always check those. So what we're going to do, this is a technique that you can use. So if you've got an almost sort of symmetrical stamp, what I'm going to do, instead of attaching the stamp as you normally do on the back, I'm going to turn it over and attach it, will it stick on there, like that. So instead of stamping the detailed stamp that you're supposed to, I'm going to stamp the back of it. So this is a way of creating a background. So for this one, I'm using our Prism ink pad, and it's the Toasted Oat. So
Toasted Oat, doesn't that sound nice?
Just going over that one.
Are you starting to feel a bit autumnal? Because toasted oat to me is like, it's autumn and winter. And
oh yeah.
Are you starting to feel a little bit?
Yeah, but my my pumpkin is half decapatched.
Okay.
Yeah. The candles are ready to be put out.
Yeah.
I think that's my job this weekend. I think the morning's starting to feel a bit dewy and a bit sort of.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I went cycling last night, and the fog that there was.
Oh really?
The mist. It's not
foggy.
See,
I quite like that. Yeah.
Up at the top of the hills was absolutely incredible, and I thought, and it dropped a few degrees when I got up there, and I thought, do you know what? This is coming. It's coming, isn't it? It's coming, and when it starts, it gets here pretty quickly, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Before you know it, we'll need the ice thingies in the morning, de-icer and all that sort of stuff.
Too soon. It's going to be 24 degrees on Friday.
Is it 24 degrees on Friday?
Is it?
Crazy.
Oh.
It's just starting to feel
decide,
like
can
it. But then we always get that, don't we? In the UK, we get
The minute
that.
the children go back to school,
Yes, it
heat
gets-
wave,
yeah, very true.
it's coming. So as you can see, I've used the back of the stamp, which is not something you would normally do.
Okay.
So then just flip the stamp over.
Oh, this is clever.
So you've got the other side of it. And then we're going to go in with our black ink now. And then, like we were saying earlier, because they're on acrylic, because it's rubber, you can see through them. So you can see, you can line them up.
That's excellent.
Okay, so
Yeah, I really like that. That's really clever, and I wouldn't have thought of that. You'd have thought you'd need a separate stamp to create this sort of background.
yeah, or
but you
you'd have to
don't.
colour them all in. But if you
Yes.
think about when you've got smaller stamps, they just work perfectly for sort of repeating as a background.
Very good.
But if you are having to colour all of these in, but again, just thinking of different ways to use your stamps and how if you just use you can use the back and the front of them to create an image as well.
Heather Porter has just said she had a parcel arrive today. Congratulations. When she opened it, it was her blending tools and blending sponges.
Oh, perfect
So
timing.
perfect timing.
What
Absolutely.
we like. Well, hopefully, some people will have a bit more time as well, won't they? Now it's back to school.
Well, this is
and-
it. Yeah, absolutely.
So that's on that one. So then the other technique we're going to do is an ombre effect with your stamps. But this is just nice as well, even if you're not using it as the stamping press, just so you've got a really sort of flat surface for your stamping as well. So we're going to get another piece of cardstock. And this time you don't ever need to use the whole of a stamp. You can mask an area off. So I've just got some of our tape. So what I've done, if you keep pressing along it just so that it removes some of that sticky, because sometimes it
can be
is
too
quite
sticky.
sticky,
Yeah, well, this
isn't
is
it?
But you've got the. For me, it was always you've got jeans on there. It was always jeans, brilliant for just anything fabric.
Yeah,
we'll just remove a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
And
I
then you
won't
can
say
have
I
it as-
use a wooden desk.
Yeah.
I did. So we're just going to mask it off like that. And then we know we're only going to get this panel here of our card with the stamp onto it. So this time we're going to use the butterflies, which also come in the collection.
People, if you have lost your magnets, misplaced them, maybe they've stuck to something they shouldn't have done, and you can't get them. They're down
I'm
the
always
back of the
rummaging
fridge.
in the bottom of the bin for mine, yeah.
We do have extra magnets on the website, so you can get these lovely little magnets that you can see. You can get extra. So sometimes people want 4 actually, so that it's really secure. It's so you
Yeah,
can
I think
get-
if you're
they come in
doing a
packs of
piece
2.
where it's almost the size of your stamping press, it is useful to have one in
extras,
each corner so you've got that. So what we're going to do now is sort of create an ombre effect with our stamps. You don't need to stamp them in just one colour. So I thought we'd pick some bright ones. So I've got lipstick and tiger orange. And we're just going to go in. So you can see the butterfly, the 2 wings at the top. So we're just going to go in with our ink pad and just press so we can see we've just covered up the top of the wings there.
If you've got any questions at home regarding stamping in any way, do ask and we'll try our best to answer. I can't guarantee we'll know the answer. I can't guarantee I'll know the answers, but I have a feeling. Have you answered a couple? I have a feeling our friend Amy might. Carol Rooney has said, question, would it be possible to show how to do a reversed stamped image, please? I don't know what that is. I don't know what she means about a reversed stamped image.
Is that where you like stamp onto acetate and then you can flip your image?
Yes, I think it is, yeah.
Okay.
Doing mirror image of your stamp.
Lisa thinks it's a mirror image of your
Yeah.
stamp, so maybe stamping onto acetate or something that will hold the ink but not absorb the ink, and then turning that over and stamping
Yeah.
it, possibly.
Yep. So we've done that. We've done the pink at the top and the orange on the bottom. So we're just going to press that. So if you are using your acrylic bot, just make sure you apply even pressure to it. So you've got it on there. But then what you can also do is something called second generation stamping. So you will, 9 times out of 10, still have some ink on that stamp. So you can do it a second time. And you can see the difference that you get. So you can even do it a third time by doing it, so it might be that you've got grasses or flowers, and you want to do a sort of at the forefront and then some behind. And if you've only got one coloured ink, you can just do second generation stamping
Of course,
instead.
because you'll get a softer version of that colour.
Yeah, so it'll be a different sort of tone of that colour,
and it'll
won't
look
it?
like it's going away in the distance.
And you don't need lots of ink pads. You know, you can use one colour and then just do it. So again, just inking them back up. What you can also do with this, if you want to, it might be if you've got a large flower, you might want to do the centre in one colour and then the outer part of the flower in a different colour. You could also use your finger daubers to apply ink to the stamp as well.
I love those finger daubers. I think they're fantastic.
They're so good, aren't they?
Good. Okay, Anne Richards says, I've got quite a few scene stamps which I want to colour with watercolour. Which paper should I use, please? And we have some watercolour card that isn't the most cheap card you're going to find, but that is the trick. If you use the real cheapo watercolour card.
Well, that's what we were talking about earlier, wasn't it?
Again,
he's going to put you off, and you're not going to get the results that you want or that you deserve, and then.
The watercolour card that we've got is first class. I mean, really, really good. We are really pleased with it. And we've been through quite a lot of different watercolour cards from the mills and to get the exact one that we want. We used to have one many years ago and it was less expensive. But they changed the formulation of it. So all of a sudden it came and it didn't have the same properties. We had quite a lot of it as well, actually, so I had to go back to them. But we managed to find it. It took ages. It was out of stock, you might remember, on the website.
Don't buy it today.
Don't buy it today. Why? Right, hold on.
Just don't buy it today.
Buy it
Don't
tomorrow.
buy it today.
Buy it
Buy
tomorrow.
it tomorrow. Right. Buy watercolour card tomorrow. There you go. I love that. That's really nice of you, Lisa. Thank you very much, because I didn't know that. So don't buy watercolour card today. Buy it tomorrow, and you're going to get a fantastic
Is it the
price on
colouring class tomorrow, Lisa? Yeah.
Right, okay, so there you go. So tomorrow's the day.
Yeah, so you can see there you've got sort of 3 generations of your stamping on there. Should we do some stamping and embossing?
Oh, yeah, super.
Yeah. Who doesn't love embossing? So we'll take, let's take the one out of here. So if you're heating and embossing, you will need the Versamark, the watermark stamp pad. So it will stamp clear, and then you can add your embossing powders to it. So we'll take this one. So again, if you just lay it down and add your stamping block, it will. There's another way you can do it as well with stamping, and I think a lot of the time it's just preference, isn't it? There's no really right or wrongs. You can take the ink pad to the stamp, or you can take the stamp to the ink pad. So this time we're just going to press that in, and you can see that you've got all of that part covered. The other thing I would recommend actually when you heat emboss it is your anti-static bag.
Yes.
So if you just wipe over your piece of cardstock before you stamp and heat emboss onto it, it makes sure it won't attract any sort of fibres or
which
air.
really does matter. It's a really useful piece of kit, the anti-static bag.
So we're just going to stamp this onto here.
We've been asked about, do you have a pen that you can use with embossing powder? She does a bit of tangling and thought it would be nice to emboss some lines in silver or gold for highlighting purposes. And people have said, our team, the viewers, are doing a great job there. Hunky Dory, don't do a pen, it's true, but Versamark and Versafine do have an embossing pen. Absolutely.
So it's basically this ink pad in a pen, isn't it? Yeah.
For sure. And then you can which is really nice, because you could sign your name, or you could write a message.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, that sort of thing, with that, and then embossing powder and heat it, and it will look absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah. So if you haven't done heat embossing before, you just ink it with that and then add your embossing powder. Always make sure you've got some cardstock or paper underneath. I think it's quite hard to see, but you can see it. Let's heat it and you'll be able to see it, because it's white onto white.
Chloe says, I would like white gel pens down Hunky Dory Crafts. Well, Chloe, guess what?
So do we.
Chloe, guess what? I'm sure that you will get white gel pens at some point. It's not super soon. We're talking a few months yet, but there will be some white gel pens and other types of gel pens as well. That's other types of pens. There's some fantastic, beautiful pens coming. I've seen the samples. in my office, hidden away in a cupboard at the minute. But yes, they'll be winging your way soon.
So, you can just about see it, can't you now? Trying to find
Oh,
it
you can't because of the white, I
Yeah.
think.
Oh,
Do you want to try it on my
on that
camera?
one.
Yeah, you can see
Yeah,
it.
there you go. So you can see,
Struggling, but
yeah, there you go. Because it's white on white, isn't it?
Yes.
So you can also, I mean, they do every range of embossing powders. You can get all colours. So we're just going to do it in the silver as well.
But if you use that, if you use that as a resist and put ink over that, then that would resist the ink, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do, yeah.
All right, there we go.
Yeah, we'll just show the effect of that. Again, it's just that people can sort of try these things out if they haven't done it before.
I'd like to say great minds think alike, but I'm winging it. I know Amy's not. Melanie says she uses a gel plate for the reverse image.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wait, we used to sell them at Inspirations back in the day.
So you'll see on a lot of heat tools as well, there are two settings. So if you're doing this onto parchment or acetate or vellum, I'd recommend using the lower heat setting
Okay.
rather than the higher one. Also, you can do it from below, so if you've got a really detailed image, you might want to just add the heat from below. It will just take a bit longer, but you can do that as well. And then, because you've got something to collect the embossing powders in, you can just put that back in. So let's just grab an ink. Let's use that, let's use lipstick because that's nice and bright. So we're just going to show you then how you can add your ink to here.
There we go, and that's that resist effect, whereas all of a sudden you see it appear. It's amazing, isn't
Yeah,
it?
so you can
It's like
see.
magic.
I think it just looks really effective,
It
doesn't
really
it? Like doing
does.
like that. So
Yeah, I
again,
like
you
it a
could add
lot.
any colour inks to it as well. Just
Yeah,
gorgeous.
fantastic.
And again, images like that are perfect if you want to create your own backgrounds. You could do that as well. There we go. So
Absolutely fantastic, and thank you very much, Amy, for lots of different tips, techniques, and so on. Thank you very much. We will be having more coming up soon, and we've got back in stock this sensational, some sensational masks. I'll show you very quickly. There you go. Oh, don't bring them up. There you go. But I'm not showing you that yet fully. Sorry.
I thought you were going off stage.
No, I'm not going off piece because we have a job to do. Or should I say you guys have a job to do at home?
it's like homework.
Because it is homework time. It is your time, or our time, our chance to pick your brains and see whether you know the answers to some questions. We've got a little bit of a quiz. We have 6 questions here that we're going to ask you. Then we're going to look at our next section of products, including those fantastic, sensational flowers. So the silhouettes there, we'll go back and have a little look at those. And we're going to go to Amy for some more demos with those. But in the meantime, we want you thinking. We want to see what your knowledge is. The answer to these 6 questions is what we want. We will give you the answers later on. Are we doing some kind of a prize giveaway?
We are.
And is it this on the floor?
Yeah, I've got a graphic.
She has a graphic.
One person will win.
Right, okay, so Lisa is going to choose probably the person who gets the most answers right, but it will be whoever Lisa chooses. So if one person gets 6 and one person gets 5, and Lisa chooses the person who got 5 out of 6, we do apologise. She's working in real time, so we shall see. But somebody's going to win. That list that you had there, which is also this box here, which is jam-packed full of hunky-dory goodies. Look at that. Someone's going to win it. They're going to win it today. We like giveaways, don't
This
we?
is such a good prize. It's sort of everything you need. for
Giveaways are
stamping,
good.
isn't it?
Everything you need for stamping. So these are the questions. There are 6 of them. Okay, so question number 1. And I'm not going to give you the answers yet. We'll give you the answers later. If stamping with a water-based ink pad, what colouring medium can be used without smudging the ink? If stamping with a water-based ink pad, what colouring medium can be used without smudging the ink? That is question number 1. Question number 2. True or false, you can use prism brush markers with stamps as an alternative to ink pads. True or false, you can use prism brush markers with stamps as an alternative to ink pads. Even I know that. Number 3, name the technique that requires you to stamp and then stamp again elsewhere without re-inking to reveal a lighter stamped
we'll see
image.
who was paying attention, won't
Who
we?
was paying attention? Number 3, name the technique that requires you to stamp and then stamp again elsewhere without re-inking to reveal a lighter stamped image. This is hard. There are 6 questions here. Number 4, true or false, you can only stamp onto white cardstock. True or false, you can only stamp onto white cardstock. Number 5, what tool is ideal for larger stamps, allowing you to re-ink and restamp if you miss any areas? What tool is ideal for larger stamps, allowing you to re-ink and restamp if you miss any areas? And numero 6, true or false, you can stamp onto parchment, mirri and acetate with prism ink pads. True or false, you can stamp onto parchment, mirri and acetate with prism ink pads. They are your 6 questions. And you've got to answer them. And you answer them in the comments, either on YouTube, Facebook. It'll have to be on YouTube or Facebook, actually. You can't do it on the Hunky Dory Hub, and it'd be done in time, I don't think. And after this next set of demonstrations, we are going to give you the answers, and Lisa will have chosen, based upon your fantastic answers. Of course, I just thought about this. What if one person gets it right, other people might be able to copy? So actually, you might end up with lots of people with
Maybe,
6.
but I can't even guarantee that the person I picked got all of them right.
Got all of them right. You don't know because they're coming through so
I
fast.
kind of think we can reward effort as well.
Yes.
If people have taken the time to join in, I think that's just as good.
If you don't write anything, you ain't winning. How's about that? That's true, isn't it? Yeah? You've got to put something.
You've got to stay behind.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bribes will be accepted, of course.
Bribes?
Yeah, bribes.
Yep.
Absolutely, bribes will be
We're
accepted.
here for that, yep.
Anything saying how good looking and attractive we are is always a bonus, isn't it? Yeah? Because we don't hear it very often, so just hearing it once a year will be nice. Okay, well, should we look at something different? We are going to be looking at our sensational silhouettes. Let me bring this over here. Pop that there. Good quiz questions, Apricot. We've done that. Sensational silhouette flowers mask bundle. Okay, so my guess is that this is the kind of thing you could be making. Isn't that brilliant? Sally Chin made that for us. Thank you so much, Sally.
That is amazing, isn't it?
It's really nice. I love this around the outside as well. You can't feel it, but it feels really nice as well. Sensational silhouette flowers, 6-inch square card pack with some black card, with some gold mirror card. And that is using these. They are the cone flowers. Absolutely gorgeous. Charming cone flowers, they're called. Really nice. Now, I wasn't sure when I saw this. I wouldn't have known if they went that way or that way, but obviously they do go that way. They look like kind of daisies, but yellow ones with, I don't know, cone flowers. I've not come across them before, really.
But then I quite like
They're very
flowers
nice.
like that, because you can do them in all different colours, can't you? And make each card you make look really different.
You certainly can. Okay, I am going to try and show you a model for each if I can. Here we go. This is Natalie made this with the Cosmos and Wildflowers mask. Beautiful. Really, really nice. I love, can you see? Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Nice bit of ribbon on it as well. My expectation is, yes, that's right. So she's done it on a scalloped circle, so that must be a die that she's used there. Oh, she has. She's used Moonstone 013, straight and scalloped circles. And then at the top there, just this little top bit, she stuck it together and given it a score, which means that it will stand as a card. Really nice.
You know, if you're doing, I know that's got a scalloped edge, if you're doing just round card blanks, what I do as well, if you turn it round on the back and just a real slither on the bottom, just that you've
do you
got
just cut that there?
just a tiny bit so that it doesn't rock if it's, yeah.
Okay, so
with
just
a scallop,
there,
it
with a
tends
scallop,
to,
you're all
yeah.
right. If you just trim there, then that would mean that it would sit correctly.
I love a
not
circle
move.
card.
Although I'm not against a bit of a rocker either, if I'm honest, but there we go. The third one, if I get it right, and all of these are in this, these 4 6x6 masks are in this multi-buy, which you can see the price on screen. So you're saving a £5 there. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Samantha Kennard made this for us. Thank you very much, with some white embossing powder. Gorgeous, isn't it? Really, really nice. And again, I love those. Looks a little bit stained glass.
I love that. So she done it on craft card?
She's done that.
With white embossing powder,
craft card, velvet thorn prism ink pad, and some adorable sculpture matastic willow tree. Really, really nice.
Gorgeous.
And then the last of the 4 is this one here, I'm sure it says by Magda. Prism Inks and Hunky Dory cardstock. Thank you so much. Really pretty. Do it, get it the right way down. There we go. Really, really nice. They're very, very nice. These sensational silhouette flower masks. They went out of stock very, very quickly. They came. We launched them. I think we lost them within a day, a couple of days, something like that. It took a couple of weeks to get them back. They are back in stock, so you can grab those, and they're at a fantastic price as well. Christmas frames and sentiments mask mask bundle. Have yourself. There we go. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Lovely is the first one. May your days be merry and bright is your second. And these are a really good size, aren't they? Full A5 size. Believe in the magic of Christmas. And we've got some. So that's just the outside being used there of that one. Really nice. May your days be merry and bright. And what a bright card. What a cheerful card.
It's gorgeous, isn't it? And because our trim is so good, it means that you can do... They're almost like 2 separate masks, aren't they? You've got sort of the outer border that you can then cut out, couldn't you? And 3D up and then do the centre part as well. And
Claire Alcock has done this for us. Thank you so much, Claire. She's used the Little Book of Festive Wonder and the Believe in Magic mask there as well for that.
That's gorgeous,
that
yeah.
Really, really pretty. So those are available, and they say £4 there, everybody. And finally, of course, you saw this earlier because we said we would show it a little bit earlier than we were going to. Is the A4 masking sheets. They're $2.99 for this week instead of $4.99. All of the prices here go back up. On, I think it's the 8th. Is it Sunday the 8th of September? Big happy birthday as well to the boss. It was her birthday yesterday. The boss being Mum.
Oh, I know. I didn't know till she was leaving.
Anne's well, I haven't told them how old she is. 21. But happy birthday to Anne for yesterday. Okay, shall we go to Amy for a demo?
Yep. So we're going to use some of the masks again, just going through some different techniques of how we can use them. With masks, I would always recommend using our tape to tape them down, so that you're not going to... The mask's not going to move when you're inking through. So we'll just go with the one where we just add ink with our blending tool. And we're just going to do 2 different colours on here. But these are gorgeous as well. If you like sort of flowers, but you're not really into sort of your alcohol markers, your craft markers, or, you know, these are good if you're short of time and you want to sort of batch make some cards as well.
And these are these blending tools and sponges that the lady earlier on had just got delivered today.
Perfect.
They're good, aren't they?
But you can see how we just try and hold down the part where you are close by, and then just add in your inks around it. So
that pressure is going to keep the stencil or the mask tight to the piece of card, so that it only inks where you want it.
Where you want it to, it doesn't.
Ink where you don't. Yeah.
Again, just the best invention where those hook where you can
absolutely the Velcro. You can get those Velcro dots because it's only one side that you need. You want the hook, not the other part. What's the other part, Lisa? Hook and loop. You don't need the loop. You need the hook. So you can get the hook online if you just type. It's not Velcro. You can't type Velcro. That's a brand name, isn't it? Like Hoover.
They're just called hook.
Hook. If you type hook into the search. The first thing that comes up, Premier Craft Tools, hook circles, 120 for £3.99. So that is going to cover all of your ink pads. You just stick them into the back there, underneath, and that's where you keep your sponges. So very clever, really, isn't it?
Just add in a bit more ink here. What you can do as well when inking is just to come in from the outside, because sometimes if you come straight in, you'll make a sort of a heavy mark on it. So sometimes you're better off coming in from that side. And then what you can do when you've done the 2 colours, I like to go back to the first colour that I've done and then just make sure it's fully blended in.
Okay, yeah. I personally would like Viv Williams. I understand that Viv Williams can't win because she hasn't answered any of the questions.
Oh, what she said.
But she said, I didn't hear the questions to the quiz. So I'm just going to tell you that my TV screen is cracked with the gorgeousness coming through because of the unimaginable beauty. I think that's talking about us again, Amy.
Wow.
I know.
So then we've added the colour. We've done sort of an ombre effect with that. And then we're just going to peel away our tape. As I say, I really like some of these flowers because they can be done in sort of any colour, can't they? You know, whatever inks that you've got.
Absolutely. I mean, I love this range when used with black. I think it's so strong, but ombre effects like you've just done there are
and you can
really,
just see,
really effective.
You could put a lovely sentiment across there. You could maybe use your circle dies to cut it out, or you know, maybe cut around. You can just follow the edge around there to cut that out as well. So that's doing it, just applying ink using the blending tool. The other idea we've got is you can also draw through your masks. So what I've done, I've started.
So using it as a proper stencil.
Yep. So we're just going to line it up here.
So much use with these masks. They're made from something called mylar, M-Y-L-A-R, mylar. It's a fabulous material. They tend to be laser cut, don't they, masks?
They're just so versatile, aren't they? What all the different things you can do with them. So we can go in and then just move that one around. And I'm just using a normal sort of pen to go through this. No special sort of drawing pen or anything.
Some people might call them stencils. Some people might call them masks. They're kind of essentially the same thing, but they do. You can either mask things off or you can stencil through things. They're but really, really versatile pieces of equipment.
And then when you go onto our website as well, when you order them, you'll always see underneath the picture of the product some examples of the cards that have been made. So that's what we're using, and just having a look at the different makes on there. So what we're going to do is just put that back on. And then we can just use and create a background with our door buzz. So if you keep your finger sort of on the mask, you know it's not going to move. And again, this is you'll see the other cards on the website that have got this idea as well.
This card's got measles.
I think there's chickenpox is going around, isn't it, at the minute?
Chickenpox is going around. Yeah. So yeah, it was, as I said, it was Mum's birthday on yesterday. Anne's birthday. Happy birthday again. Just to wind her up, because I know she watches. And
she's going to be cross with you when we leave here.
And we were having something lovely to eat at a little place called the Ginger Bistro in Preston. It's a really cute little place. But Evie, that's my brother's daughter. Evie couldn't come, so Milo could come because Milo's chickenpox had all covered over, and he was kind of finished with them. But Evie, and it's a 14-day incubation period is chickenpox. It's so if one of your kids gets it and they have it for a couple of weeks, and then another one of your children gets it, then you've got like chickenpox for a whole month in the house, haven't you? It's a real
do you know when I had it?
Go on.
My wedding day.
You didn't?
I did.
Really?
Yeah. So my daughter had it 4 weeks before the wedding. So I was like, this is fine. We're all going to be all good. And then she got over it, and I was like, yeah, all good. And then, like you say, 2 weeks after she got it, I got it. So 2 weeks before my wedding, I woke up.
Oh, just cut
head to toe.
It's not nice for adults. I had it when I was about 30 or so, something like that. I was really poor. Yeah. It's not nice, is it?
It's horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my poor thing. I feel more sorry for my wedding photographer.
Yeah.
Who literally spent hours removing.
Oh no, is he retouching? Oh my word, that's brilliant.
So if you go through my photographs, you could tell the professional photos versus the ones everyone else took.
Oh my word.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's not nice. So again, you can see how we've just
brilliant.
created that background on there, and you could carry on and go through here as well.
Yes, of course.
And cut around the circle as well. But it's just you trying to use them in lots of different ways. The other way you can use them, we'll be quick, is you don't need to do them onto plain cardstock.
Okay.
You can do it onto printed cardstock if it's matte-tastic. So
Yes.
this vintage poinsettia is matte-tastic, so we can put our wording onto there.
So anything
we'll
anything
go
matte will
with-
take the ink and it will absorb the ink into it. But
Yes,
but a coated board such as your original Adorable Scorable would resist that, and it just wouldn't take properly. And I mean, it might dry over a long period of time, but you want things to dry pretty much straight away, and that's what Matte-tastic's there for. It's going to enable you to sort of change things, change the cardstock in any way you choose, like this.
Yeah, so again, if I'd got more time, I would sort of tape this down. But just going over it.
It's a lovely piece of cardstock, this.
I just love this.
I think
Yeah.
it's fantastic. I can't remember. Is this from our new one? Is this current?
No,
Is
this
from
was
yesterday?
the
Is
last
this
one.
this is
Yeah.
last time? Yeah. I do remember it.
But you can also, Kat had done some where she'd inked onto the little books and things as well. So again,
Look
you
at
can
that.
see how you can just... So you could cut that, couldn't you? Add it onto some gold mirror, and you've literally done a card
100%.
in 2 minutes.
For sure.
But like I was saying with these, it's almost like 2 in 1. So you can just stamp this, so you can apply your tape to the mask to block that bit off as well.
Yes.
And then just get your trimmer and cut the aperture in, so you've got a frame as well for it.
Amy, how do you clean that? Because that's obviously got ink on the top.
Yeah, so I'd just use a wipe to
Right,
do
so
it.
a baby wipe is
Yeah,
just going to...
or you can wash them with just in the sink. And
Okay,
just,
of course, yeah.
just
'cause
leave them to dry.
They're what you class
Yeah,
as
but you
waterproof.
can
They're not going
see-
to absorb the water.
Yeah, you can see how it's coming off.
And of course, it doesn't really. I mean, yeah, it comes off fine, but it doesn't really matter if they end up slightly stained from
Yeah.
you using them. In fact, if they do end up stained, I hope all your masks at home are slightly stained, because that
it
means
means
you've been
you've used
using
them,
them
doesn't
and
it?
getting
Yeah.
the most out of them.
The
which
other
is brilliant.
things you can do with these, you can run it through your die cutting machine and it will emboss your paper. All you need to do is put your rubber mat in with it and just have a play around with what layer combination, what plate combination you need. But that does emboss really well as well with your stencils. So it's almost like a mask and embossing folder in one as well.
Absolutely.
The other thing you can do, one last thing, I won't do it, but we can just talk through it, is you can apply your Versamark ink through it. And I think we had an example where she'd heat embossed it.
Okay.
So you can, if you lay it down and apply your ink to it, and then peel it off and add the embossing powder, it will emboss it as well.
Okay.
Or your, you know, the flakes.
Yes. Yeah.
I think, was
Okay.
it the last magazine or the one before, I did a piece about using the flakes with masks. So
They're
have a look
super
at those as well.
versatile.
Yeah.
But the price as well is really good.
Just, yeah, and I think people, because the price is so good, people think they only do one thing.
Yes,
or,
of course.
yeah.
But then you get that versatility as
Yeah.
well, which is fantastic. Okay, everybody, are you ready for the answers to our pop quiz? I hope that you were listening, because during the show, almost everything that was almost all the answers were in the show beforehand. There were one or two that weren't, but shall we see? So question number 1 was, if stamping with a water-based ink pad, what colouring medium can be used without smudging the ink? And like Paula Abdul said, opposites attract. It is alcohol markers. So you want alcohol to go with water-based, if that makes sense. So if you're stamping with a water-based ink pad, you would then use alcohol markers and it wouldn't smudge the ink. Number 2, did you get that right? I hope you did. Number 2, true or false, you can use prism brush markers with stamps as an alternative to ink pads. The answer is true, of course. Simply colour the raised area of your stamp with the brush tip and then stamp as normal onto cardstock. Oh, I've got a winner. She's given me the winner's name, and I'm not going to show you. You'll have to wait. The person who won got 5 out of 6. So well done.
Oh,
They were
well
really
done.
listening. Question number 3. Name the technique that requires you to stamp and then stamp again elsewhere without re-inking to reveal a lighter stamped image. Of course, Amy did that, and Amy, it is called?
Second generation stamping.
Second generation stamping, thank you. Number 4, true or false? Amy, can you only stamp onto white cardstock?
No.
No.
You can stamp on anything.
Anything you want, any coloured card you want, don't worry.
Acetate, parchment,
Yep,
doesn't just need to
you
be
can do it.
cardstock, yep.
Okay. Number 5, what tool is ideal for larger stamps, allowing you to re-ink and re-stamp if you miss any areas? We've been using it today, and Amy will show you one. It is?
The stamping press.
The stamping press, of course. There we go. Great for a tool for larger stamps, but also ideal for beginners. And question 6, true or false? Now, this might be the one that caught people out. You can stamp onto parchment, mirror, and acetate with prism ink pads, and the answer is false. You need a permanent ink pad to stamp onto non-porous materials, although parchment is a porous material, so I think that was in just for to trick people. If you stamp with a water-based ink, you'll be waiting years for it to dry. Prism ink pads are great for use with Ink Me cardstock, premium watercolour cardstock, and even our Matastic adorable scoreable, which you were just showing a minute ago. So, those were the answers to the questions. How many did you get right? I hope you got lots right. The winner got 5 right, and the winner...
This is what the winner wins.
Oh, this is what the winner wins. They win a stamping press, some magnets, an acrylic block, or some acrylic blocks, the stamping handbook, the Ink Me cardstock, prism ink pads, masking sheets, low-tack tape, water brushes, mixed media mat, heat tool, and storage case. Wow.
I love this prize.
What a great prize. And that person is going to get those sent out today when you win. And good luck if it's you. Congratulations if it's you. Good luck if it isn't. I know what I mean. When you win, you will email us at studio@hunkydorycrafts.co.uk with your address. We'll send it to you, or better still, just message us on Messenger. And the winner is Alison Carmen, who got 5 out of 6.
Well done, Alison.
Alison gets a smiley face from Lisa. Well done, congratulations. Good luck to everyone in our next giveaway, which there will be one, don't worry, and of course in the Win It Weekly. Shall we repeat the Win It Weekly?
Yeah, sure.
Let's do that now. If you want to be in with a chance of winning our 3-tiered storage trolley, there are 3 lucky winners on Friday this week. Which of the following school rules is true? A, you're not allowed to eat ketchup during school hours. B, you cannot play football on a Wednesday. Or C, you're allowed to cheat 1 test per year. One of them is true. I don't know where. Do we know where it's true, or?
Yes,
But you're not right. So there's something behind it. Okay, there's something behind it. Okay, so which is great, because when they're really easy, everyone gets them. Do you know what I mean? So you really want to, yeah.
But yeah.
But that's we shall see. Okay. Last part of the show, everybody. I want to show you a couple of phenomenal offers, and these are our. I said earlier on that we've got some Ink Me card offers. We've got a lightweight essential card block. Contains 75 sheets of 190 GSM Ink Me A5 cardstock. So Ink Me, as we know, is an uncoated cardstock. It's perfect for all of your colouring mediums, and it will the ink or the colour will soak into that, and it will stay in that as well, which is fantastic. 75 sheets there at £8.99. It's not. It's £4.99.
Wow.
So you're saving £4 there, which is brilliant. So A5, fantastic, because
That's such a good size to
such a
have.
good size.
Yeah.
If you want to use these as card blanks, you can do. Obviously, as A6 card blanks, you can do that. The choice is yours. But really, you're going to be mounting this onto whatever card you're going to choose, and this is what you're going to use for the main front of your project, I guess.
But I suppose you could use it as a card blank and use the masking sheets if you really do want a lightweight 1-layer card.
Yeah, I think so. 190 GSM though, so it isn't what I class as card weight.
Yeah.
This is card weight. Okay, so this is 8x8, your 8x8 essential card block, and this is 300 GSM. So this is proper card, as you can tell by the sound. Yes. So 40 sheets of 300 GSM Ink Me 8x8 cardstock, and this is the really good stuff. £9.99. It's not. It's £5.99 in this fantastic pad. Again, saving you £4, so saving you 40% there.
That's a perfect size for your masks as well, isn't it? To be able to put the mask on and tape it down, and then be able to just trim around it.
Okay,
Yeah,
because the masks are 6x6, aren't
yes,
they? So
you just
they
have
fit
enough room
perfectly
to tape it round.
with
Yeah.
taping it down, which is great. And that, apart from a reminder of the free Hunky Dory pen with all orders over £25, we are going into the sketch challenge. Is that right? Sketch challenge?
This needs to go to Amy.
This needs to go to Amy. As it goes to Amy, I will pass it by our camera so that you can see. There you go. This is what's going to Amy.
Oh.
It is. Have you seen this? No.
No.
Amy, this is a sketch challenge. It's Amy's turn to take part in our sketch challenge. And she's working to a template that Natalie drew up after yesterday's live show. Am I right in saying that, will Amy then draw up a template for tomorrow? I wonder if these are getting more and more complex and more naughty throughout the week as the person goes, well, that wasn't easy. I tell you what, I'm going to give the next person a really difficult one. We'll see. Amy, over to you.
Okay, so I've picked out the Diamond Club gift.
Diamond Club gift?
Yep, which is the Perfect Peonies. So this is just what we've got in here. So I'm just going to have a look. So you can see from the sketch challenge, we need a backing piece and then sort of these 3 circles here.
Okay, so with a sketch challenge, just for me,
Yep.
so I know and understand, that's the sketch that you've got, and your card needs to resemble that at the end of it. Is
Yes.
that right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
These are brilliant if you know, like if you just lose your crafty mojo, or you can't think what you want to do. These sketch challenges are perfect.
And we get these we have these in the magazine, don't we?
We do. So we do one sketch 3 ways.
Oh,
so
okay,
each
brilliant.
month there's a different sketch, and then somebody will take 3 different lots of products and create 3 cards with them. So I'm just having a look. I don't think in here we have got any circle toppers.
Oh, that's going to make life difficult, isn't it? Mind you, I
No.
guess, so are you
Thanks,
going...
Natalie.
And there's no circle toppers at all? No?
Right, we're all good. Okay, so let's choose a backing colour.
So is it a die you'll need to create?
Yeah, so luckily I went and got these for Natalie yesterday for her, so they're still in here.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take some of the printed cardstock and sort of create toppers.
Perfect.
Using that cardstock. So it is another good way, if you've run out of your toppers, you can cut that as a circle for your topper, and then you've still got all of this for sort of your mat and layering, so it's all good.
Okay.
Just see what colour we're going with. We can have a pattern on it, can't we?
Of course you can. I like the soft colours in this collection. It's really nice, the pinks and sort of the ivories that you got. There's a really nice green as well, isn't there? That's
Yeah.
pretty. So the lacy sort of effect.
I don't know whether to go with the lace one or...
The lace is lovely, isn't it?
let's leave that out as well. Or the
I
green.
mean, that's flat, but it doesn't look flat, does it?
No. Which one?
Green.
Okay.
I don't know why I said green when I thought the other one, really. Sorry. Yeah, I think that's lovely. That.
Right, so I think we'll do... I'm just trying to think about how big the toppers need to be. So if we take our circles... Have a look.
Again, you've got tools. Dies really are tools, aren't they? They're things
Oh,
that
they're
you can use
just...
again and
yeah.
again. And again, versatility. They give you the option to create things like this, create your own toppers. It's brilliant.
So...
Excuse me.
Let me measure how big. I think that one's going to be too big, isn't it?
So whilst we're watching
take the
Amy
circle one.
get her head around what she's going to do here, I have a message from my friend Lisa that is written onto my my cue card today, and the message says "Sketch Challenge" with like a wibbly underline, and then it says "You can get involved!" exclamation mark. Head over to the Hunky Dory Hub to enter for a chance to win. And I checked this with Lisa beforehand, right? You can get involved. Head to the Hunky Dory Hub to enter for a chance to win 1,000 reward points. 1,000 reward points. So with our sketch challenge during our back to school, what was our event called? The School of Hunky Dory. Thank you.
School of
Right,
Craft.
School of Craft. That's the one. Thank you. Sorry about that. Yes, you can get involved yourself with these fantastic sketch challenges, and you could win. There will be a winner. Is it one winner for 1,000 reward points?
Yes.
My word!
Still as the new template, and we've got until I think it's Monday the 16th.
Each day we will add a new template at the Hunky Dory Hub. And it's called Sketch Challenge. Oh, I can see it there, and that's brilliant. So Lisa's just showing it to me on the computer. And it says, enter our Sketch Challenge for a chance to win 1,000 reward points. It's written there. It's a real thing. You could win 1,000 reward points. Beneath it says ready, set, craft. How many do they need to make?
They can just make one.
Just make one? You can make more?
20.
Okay.
They could use just one template, or you could do one for all of them.
And is it Monday we're going to announce who won it? And we can show quite a few?
Monday the 16th.
Monday the
So
16th.
We've got a whole week after.
Okay, so you've got this week, and then you've got a week after, and then we will show you a VT showing lots of people's cards that were made, and thank you to everyone who's making these and sending them in. We really appreciate it. But one of those people, and we'll show it you in that lovely VT, one of those people is going to win 1,000 reward points to spend on anything they want on our website. It's 1,000 reward points, 100 quid. It's 100 quid's worth, isn't it?
I don't know. I can't mind.
I don't know. It's a lot. Can I do my maths? I've lost my phone.
Put it down.
It's a lot anyway. Might be a tenner, might be 100 quid, but
It's
just
a tenner.
you think it's a tenner? I think it's more.
I can make it one.
Sorry, Amy, back to you.
Yep, so we just cut in the base of the card. So what I would normally do is leave sort of a white border, but because it looks like there's only one matte and layer on there, we'll follow it. So I'm doing the whole card front in the gold, and then we've got that paper to. So again, sometimes I'd only do 2 notches here, but I've done a 1/4 of an inch there border just so you can see that gold. And then we need the toppers. So let's take this one.
I've done some maths, Amy.
Have you?
1,000 reward points
Yeah.
is £10.
Wow.
But I'm not happy with that.
It's
Do you know what? Because I thought 1,000 reward points was 100 quid. So
Okay.
I was going, oh my gosh, you get 1,000 reward points. That's amazing, right?
yeah.
Okay, so do you know what we're going to do?
Can
We're going
we?
to change it, and we're going to make it 100 quid's worth of reward points. Is that okay, Lise?
Is that 10,000?
It's just £100 of reward points. Whatever it is,
Whatever it is, yeah.
it's £100
that's
worth
what
of
we're
reward
doing.
points. So somebody's going to get 100 quid's worth of reward points, not a tenner's worth of reward points, because that's pants. £100 worth of reward points. That's what we want.
Maybe I'll just get 250 then.
So we're going to have to cut all these separately because I need to use the same size die for all of them.
Now I need to sit down.
All 3 are the same size, so let's get our plates. We'll just put the first one through. So it does go to show, if you haven't got the right size toppers, you can use images from the cardstock and just use your nesting dies to cut them out as well.
I guess from papers as well. I mean, it's just anything that you've got, really,
Yeah,
isn't it?
it just extends how you can use your collections as well, doesn't it? So we've got that one on there.
And if you've got a slightly larger cutting die, then you could use that with Miri, and then that creates your matte and layer, doesn't it?
Yeah. So again with these, they are sort of there for interpretation, aren't they? So you can, it might be that you didn't want to use circles and you could maybe use 3 squares. So you can kind of sort of change it up, but try and
Cool.
keep the layout as similar as you can to it. And then we're going to, this one here, we're going to try and find a sentiment or something from the collection that we can use in there.
Is that a new Gemini? Just because it's super quiet. I think
I think that's because the other one is...
As the other one has died its death, is it?
The other one is just awful, isn't it? And then I think what we'll do, we'll put that one there, and then we're going to put one in the pink, and then we're going to use some of the images that you can cut, sort of die cut out to go on this last one. And then we're going to give it that 3D effect as well. So
Okay, so just to make sure everyone is in the loop, because it might have changed a little bit there as we went along. So the sketch challenge on the Hunky Dory Hub, you can get involved. You head over to the Hunky Dory Hub, which is at hunkydorycrafts.co.uk, and you can enter the sketch challenge for your chance to win £100 worth of reward points to get that added to your account. There will be a new sketch drawing added each day throughout our School of Hunky Dory promotion, which is probably not the right name for it. School of Craft, thank you very much. School of Hunky Dory Craft promotion. We've got 2 layouts on there because we're on day 2, but by the end of it there will be 7 different layouts. 5 different layouts, that's correct, because we're doing it for 5 days. This is no easier for people than it was before. Okay, so you can choose any of those 5, or you can do all 5, or any number of them that you want. You need to use that layout to create yourself a card, create yourself a project. Send it across to us. Where's the best place to send? Is it by...
the studio email.
studio@hunkydorycrafts.co.uk is a great place to send it. You can, I'm sure, send it via Messenger as well. Send a picture. We will get the pictures of all of our favourite ones, fingers crossed that you're in there. And one of them will be chosen as the absolute favourite, and that person will win £100 worth of reward points. And you've got a week and a half now, I think it is, because it's the 16th, Monday the 16th is when we're going to say who has won that and show you that lovely VT of all of your fabulous cards.
That'd be so nice. I think, say, the sketch challenges just give you some new ideas, don't they? If you're just stuck in a bit of a rut or not sure what to do.
Yeah, it's on the hub under competitions.
Goes there. Yeah, but have a look in the magazines as well. Go back and see, some of the other sketch challenges. We always try and pick 3, do 3 really different cards
ones,
with them. Yeah. So then this one, it layers over there. More so than that one. So again, you don't need to be quite this, copy it quite this much, but you can do. Are they going to be too big to put on there?
And then I'm guessing you're looking for some kind of a... so are you going to put something on that middle one? So right, okay,
yeah.
Brilliant. You've done that so that you can put something raised
Yeah,
on
because there wasn't any more. So again, it's just trying to use what you've got, isn't it? When you get to that bit in your collection where you're running out of a few bits.
I do like that lacy bag. That's perfect though, isn't it? Is it a wreath there? I can't see.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's brilliant.
Is it too busy, do you think?
Do you know, I like it. I like it.
Let's just have a look at the
your phone had it.
That's too big, isn't it?
Possibly. I like it.
Yeah.
And then are we going sentiment bottom left? Is that the logic?
Yeah, so here we're going to try and find a sentiment in there to go with it. I think it's just fun sometimes, isn't it, to sort of challenge yourself and just to, try and use what you've got as well.
Fiona says that she's printing out the sketch designs and keeping them very handy for ideas. They absolutely are, and you're more than welcome to do that 100%.
Perfect. I mean, I hope by the end of the week that people have sort of got a sort of a library of ideas and things. Yesterday, Natalie made some gorgeous different card blank styles.
Yes.
And people were on about making them just in sort of white cardstock or any old cardstock you've got, just that you've got them there for reference. Again, we all get stuck for ideas sometimes, so it's nice to have that as well.
I'm trying to think about this Win It Weekly. So which of the following school rules is true? Not allowed to eat ketchup during school hours. Not allowed to eat ketchup during school hours. I don't know. Cannot play football on a Wednesday. Or are allowed to cheat one. It can't be that you're allowed to cheat one test a year, can it? It can't be. So, Lisa, was it you who made up this question?
This is a Jess question.
It's a Jess question.
Oh, does Jess like ketchup?
Is it something to do with, was it like real at Jess's school? And therefore it's true?
I think she just Googled.
She Googled, okay. That gives away where we get all the questions from, doesn't it? No more Google questions. Other search engines are available. Ask Jeeves.
So we're just going to cut these little bits off, and then on the sketch challenge you can see it just goes over there slightly, so I think what we're going to do is just cut that one part off there. I'm just going to see. Oh, this is where the 4mm foam pads are hiding.
Aren't they excellent? Are they back in stock, the 4mm foam pads, yeah?
I'm still waiting for one of them, which is due in very, very soon.
Is that kind of the strips, is it? Or
the 50, the thicker strips.
Right,
the
let's just
wider
the
cut that.
strips.
wider
And the
strips
other
you're
ones
waiting for, but the others are...
delayed for like 7 weeks.
It's delayed for 7 weeks. Yeah, those 4mm foam pads, when they're in stock, grab them, because they're very difficult to keep in stock, and they sell particularly well. And because they're particularly useful.
Oh, they're just, yeah.
Okay, everyone, what do we think?
There we go.
Has Amy nailed the sketch challenge? I do believe she has. It looks exactly like the sketch. Congratulations and well done. Thank you very much. So loads of techniques there from Amy today, finished off with a fabulous sketch challenge. Make sure that you're getting involved with that sketch challenge at home, because there is £100 worth of reward points to be won, and it could be you that wins it. Okay, so what's going on? This is the end of our show, but before we go, we should say TV schedule. Natalie will be over on Hobbymaker this afternoon at 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. So she's got 5 hours in between. 2 and 7
She's
p.m.
got a show in between.
Has she got a show in between?
Yeah.
So it's not just 2 and 7. Oh, here we go. Silly me. Read ahead, Dan. Read ahead. At 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. with Moonstone Dye's Essential Radiant Sentiments, and at 4 p.m. with embossing folders. So it's dyes and embossing folders for Natalie today on Hobbymaker. Next up on Hunky Dory TV, tune in for our Colour Me Happy seminar at 10 a.m. tomorrow, where Natalie and Kat will lead in a masterclass of colouring without tons of history at the beginning, probably. Okay, thank you so much for spending some time with us this morning. We've really enjoyed it. We hope that you have, and hope you've got some inspiration and indeed learnt something new. It's a goodbye from me. It's a goodbye from our friend Lisa.
Goodbye.
And it's see you tomorrow from Amy.
Goodbye.
See you later. Thank you. Bye.